Hello, welcome. Thanks for clicking today. Before you start, let me be absolutely clear. There is no sales at the end of this video. So please be kind enough and watch it all the way through because you will hear some very good insights and my tips on how to make your communications really effective in this modern world because it is very difficult with the different media that's available today how that is absolutely possible. The reason why I say that, because in the early days, YouTube was a television screen for us. Facebook was your address book and maybe even your photo album if they were side to side and you could say, oh, that's that person and that's the picture. And you could carry on, WordPress. What's WordPress? It was a writing pad and a pencil and you actually wrote notes down. And we all like to check in on Foursquare. What was Foursquare? Well, it was nothing but a globe that was set next to your desk and you spun it around. And I remember having one of these and you said, oh, this is the world. This is where I am. This is where I have been there or gone there. And I used to do a lot of travel in my early days, almost 90 flights a year. And trust me, I know when I check in, I think of that globe all the time. What next? If you imagine your desk, LinkedIn was your Rolodex. If you remember the Rolodex where you just flick through things like that. Pinterest, what was Pinterest? It used to be this whiteboard I had or a cork board I had in my old office, and I still have one in my current office as well, where you actually pin things up to remember things. These are just some of the examples. And one of my favorites is the 3M little sticky yellow pads, and these yellow pads, which are what I call the yellow post-its. That was Twitter because you could only put X amount on a yellow pad, so you had to be restricted to putting things on the yellow pad. So if you take that mindset and see how the world has actually changed, the whole lot is now available on a phone. Everything's on a smartphone nowadays. And I'm recording this actually on my HTC One smartphone. So, everything is on there. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all of that is just on a smartphone, not like how we used to have it. The problem is because it's so convenient in the hand, people do not know how to engage with either their friends, clients, or just partners or socially. So everything is used in different ways to suit the person rather than what's the effective way of communicating, because otherwise you just become one of these. And we've all seen them sitting in restaurants and we've all seen them talking and do this all the time. That's not good. That doesn't build relationships. So what do I mean by effective communications? Here is my secret. So I'm going to give you my top 10 levels of communicating effectively with an impact. And with that 10 steps, let me tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my top 10 secrets, how to use each one of these steps in today's world of global communications. So with that said, let's start with the first one. If you'd like to do a simple message on what's happening around, Twitter is what is used. So these are typical restricted number of 142 characters and you bound with that. I say my trick is if you want to use Twitter, and I'm not a big fan of Twitter, I must admit, you only use it where you follow the gold rush. Meaning, if there's some breaking news, if something's happening that's urgent and you want to make a comment on it, or a football result and you want to make a comment with it, and you want to follow it all the way through with the hashtags that goes with it, then Twitter is your media to do that sort of follow-up, instant stuff. The next level is statuses. By statuses, I mean LinkedIn status, Facebook status, WhatsApp status, status on your BlackBerry, things along those lines. All right? Statuses are used in a multiple ways, all right? People abuse it and people use it effectively. So if people are just going to sell on the status all the time, buy this, buy that, and aren't I, or the opposite, aren't I beautiful? Look where I am. I'm in the toilet. I'm in the Facebook chat room with a number of people, which is unnecessary. I'm in this restaurant. I'm flying from this airport to that airport. If it's always one type of messages, people get bored with it and they soon get off. On the other hand, if you're just bashing uh, the buying side of things, people switch off. So it needs a balance, and the whole thing needs a strategy. So without a strategy, you cannot manage those statuses properly. Meaning, just don't put sales things. Just don't put motivational things every day. Bring some value add. Put the odd video, put the odd music, put the odd picture of you in a private situation if you want to get closer to your audience. Give them value. Write articles, send them valuable information with videos, interesting things to see or know or press, things like that. Make it a variety and add value to the audience. If you want to build this relationship in my 10-step process, this is one of the things I suggest, how to use the statuses. So sharing photographs or just showing good poses of you just for attention seeking all the time gets boring. So put variety in it. The next is messaging. The next level is that getting even closer to your audience. Okay, so you'd use a Facebook message, you would use LinkedIn message, things that are offline, but you do it at whatever time you want, but you don't expect the user to read it and respond to it immediately. What do I mean by that? It could be in the middle of the night and someone's in another part of the world. You'd send them a message on Facebook because that's your level of contact that you're comfortable with, both parties. And that's what you'd use it. Never use Facebook messages to ask for urgent things. Okay? That doesn't show respect for the person and does not also show you have a deeper level of conversation. Or if that's the only way, then use it, but try and move on to the next stage. The next stage for me is emails. So the step number 4, emails, is again messaging, but short, sweet, longer than the Facebook type of messages, but it's also to do with what I call offline messaging. It is offline because you don't expect them to answer straight away. I have a system where I read messages when I wake up, halfway through the day, and towards the end of the day. Unless I see something urgent pop up, I will not open those things up. All right? So everyone who is structured has this form of a system or another system of their own. What is really getting popular nowadays is video messages, where you've actually personalized and put a video inside that content, and it's amazing how this video works. So, for example, I could be just sat here like I am today on a nice sunny Sunday and talking to you all, and I fancy doing a video message to some of my common groups. I'll just open the webcam and I'll do a video message, say, hi, how are you? I miss you. I thought this piece of information would be really useful for you, what you're trying to do. This makes it more personal than typing it all out and typing out what you're trying to do. So that's how I would use emails. The next is text messaging, SMS. SMS is kind of like the next level of urgency now, where you need an answer, it needs to be short and sharp, or used in situations where you cannot talk or you need the person to look at it slightly more urgently. It could be late arrivals, early arrivals, what time shall we set up a meeting, things along those lines, but slightly more urgent than all the other statuses. If you need to move up to the urgent level, the 6th level is what I call instant messaging, the WhatsApp type of messaging, the Yahoo messaging, the BBM message, things along those lines. These are instant messaging where it's interactive rather than send, forward, and they receive. This is communicating interactively. So where you need a bit of a dialogue, don't use any of the previous forms that I've mentioned, like SMS, email, Facebook message, Facebook status, Twitter, etc. Where you need a dialogue, use instant message. So it's not a one-off hit and forget it. A lot of people put that and just like never come back. People expect you to come back and people expect you to listen and see what's happening. And they need a response. The seventh letter, moving on, is the level of letters and personalized letters. If someone gets a letter in the post, the relationship feels warmer. And I tell you, call me old fashioned tradition, but if I get a handwritten letter come through the post, I would immediately respond to that person because it shows that person has taken the time and the effort and the care to put pen to paper to write to you. I often do that when I post, even if I'm posting a package, I'll put a little post-it note or I'll just scribble a handwritten message on top to accompany whatever I'm sending. Makes it that much more personalized. I'm a best-selling author, so whenever I give a book to someone, I'll always put a personalized message to suit that person, not just best wishes, Muru Patel. I would never do that. I'll put, even if it's 5 words, 10 words, whatever it is, it needs to be personalized. This way it shows you care and the relationship gets slightly more formal and a little bit more deeper. The eighth level is the good old telephone. So the good old telephone brings you in contact directly when you want to hear voice, tone, expression, because you can visualize, even though there is no picture there, based on the voice and tone, you can visualize what that person is like. Let me show you. Hello, yeah, whatever, yeah, okay, yeah, 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 I understand, yeah, I'm with you, yes, I'm still listening, yes, yes. If you see what I mean. How many times can you just see right through it that the person is not really with you? So when you make a phone call, make sure you're with that call without distractions. Otherwise, it's no respect to your time and no respect to the other person's time. And if you can't talk, just say sorry, call you back later. One tip I would give you where people block and shut the phone up, it seems to be the norm nowadays where it means you're busy. There are systems to put in place like an SMS auto reply to say, I'm busy, we'll call you back. Automatic SMS goes out. But just to block all the time, not that good. Not my way of doing it unless you absolutely have to. So, best to say, sorry, can't talk, or put your phone on silent. The ninth level is video chat. So, Skype, webcam, Facebook FaceTimes, all these things, video chat, it shows you visually what the person is showing in terms of body language, voice, tone, and it feels like you're in the meeting person to person, but only on web. The upside to that is at least you can see the body language, facial expressions, and all these things which are very important in any form of communications, be it verbal or non-verbal. The downside is there's no such replacement as face to face because you feel the energies, you feel the vibes, you feel the aura of the person, and you feel a lot more than just a web chat. So that final number 10, face to face time, is my favorite. So those are my 10 steps and 10 tips of how to use communications effectively in this day and age. If you found it useful, I have two amazing slides on both of those. And if you just go to www.murupatel.com, MRUPATEL.com, I'll be happy to give you those two slides. Thank you for your time. I hope you found it useful. Please leave comments on my blog. Thanks. Bye.